talk about this, but in kindergarten we do. Charlie, what's the floss?
What time?
No, that's the where and when is the setting. What's the floss? Do you remember? I'll give you another word for some people call it the big ideas and
What you like?
what you like about it might be part of the floss here. You want to go whisper in his ear?
What happens?
Right. What's happening in the story. And do you know why Siri whispered it? Charlie, can you tell our why did she whisper in your ear and I didn't let her tell? But she didn't take Charlie's spotlight. She shared the spotlight, and so Siri's helping, but not taking a spotlight. We do that all the time in here, because I know that growing up, I always had people in my classroom that wanted to take the spotlight, but everyone gets the spotlight in here for different things. I wanted to recognize each author, and I wanted to make sure that their parents got to see that. So I'm going to call up some authors, and I have these little awards here. They're called Wonderful Writing Awards. Congratulations on your first published story. You deserve thumbs up. And around the whole side of your name, there's some thumbs up. So each child will be recognized for their writing, but they'll also be recognized for a certain piece of their writing, something that's important. So I wanted to recognize first, call them up, because I know, let's see. Let me see. Louisa Ray. You can call it. I'm going to read this. Louisa Ray, congratulations on your first you're concerned this way. First published story. You deserve thumbs up. On May 23rd, 2012. And her award is because she's an incredible illustrator. If you want to check out her story, it's on the green table on your way up. Monkeys, a swamp, and you can see the colors in the swamp really mixed up. And over here, there's a notebook for you to write wherever you are, and there's a pencil for you too. There you go. Next one is Nikhil Devarakonda. Nikhil has only been in her class for 2 weeks. He's already published a book. Nikhil's story is over here. He wrote the story of the monster, and if you look at these illustrations, you can see
The boogeyman.
it's called The Monster. And he has tons of illustrations. Those pictures pop off the page. And so one of the details that he does, one of the things he's really into is detail. So for his illustrations, Nikhil, you are getting an award for being the detail of, you're one of them. You've got a lot of these in the room. A detailed dude. All right.
Hey.
Thank you. Next up is Christos Wattis. Christos, please come up.
Oh.
Christos likes to write stories about his adventures, and I don't know if any of you know who Christos is, but Christos travels more places in his life already as a 6-year-old than I have in my entire life of 50 years. So Christos writes stories that are things that happen to him personally. His story that he published is over on the green table. It's called The Shark Cake. For his birthday, so he's really into sea animals, and he has a story about a shark cake that he wrote himself. And so that's called writing about your personal thing. So Christos is awarded for writing a personal essay already. Right.
Good job, Christos.
Up next is Sylvia Shasipi.
Hey.
Sylvia's stories are chiefly about being outside. She's an outdoor girl. She's a fashion girl. She likes fashion, but she does like to be outside. And she wrote a story about a field of flowers, and today you look like you're wearing a field of flowers. There's flowers here, flowers here, flowers here. So her award for wonderful writing is for being one of our best nature writers about the field of flowers. Next up is Miss Helena Rievelman. Come on up. Helena wrote about an adventure that she took. She took a story from December that she had written and picked it out of a trip to her grandmother's house. And can you tell the audience, because when I took a trip to my grandmother's house, we got in the car and drove for a few minutes. But where did you go when you go to your grandmother's house, that trip? Where was it? Do you remember where you went?
Honduras.
Honduras. And are you going to travel also to see family this summer? Where are you going to see other family this summer?
And I'm going to see my dad's family.
And where will that be?
In
In England and Honduras. So this girl does travel quite a bit. Hers, though, her stories have great details. The pictures, you can almost picture exactly what her grandma's house looks like. So she's one of our detailed divas. The do's are the boys, the divas are the girls, and she really remembers the details of each picture. Congratulations. Next up is William O'Brien. Come on up. Now, in our building, you probably notice there's a ton of construction going on, lots of trucks, lots of building going on. William has this real interest and details that he knows about building and construction. We have a construction office in the corner, and so he likes to notice things like that. But he's written about a ton of equipment. His story today is an essay on the lawnmower, and it has a catcher and a blade and a catcher. He's got pictures of it. He's got details of it. So he's our classroom consumer reporter. Alana Miller. Okay, not to worry. All right. Alana Miller wrote a story about how she's moving to California and how she, on one page, it's, I'm moving to California, I'm going to miss my friends, but on the other page, there's a very happy ending. What's your happy ending in your story? Who lives in California? Her Nana. And I happen to know the last time she saw her Nana, she came back with some fancy thing in her hair, and Nana really likes to spend time with you and your sister, huh? So hers, though, the details and the illustrations you can even see from her cover on the green table, they pop off the page. So I wrote, Alana Miller is the queen of illustration.
Oh.
Is she over here?
And now,
Janet Lou? Janet loves to read, and through reading, she's seen a lot more about how words are spelled differently. She writes the word night. Most of us write it N-I-T. She knows about N-I-G-H-T. She knows that night, if night is night, then that must be bright and light. She's kind of used that. So Janet's getting an award for the super speller. You notice words and you let me see. Celeste Lynn Butler. Has a little twist to her story. She likes to put little jokes in her stories, little side things. So her award says, Celeste Lynn Butler is one creative creature. One creative creature. Hannah's not here. David Curiel. And it feels like he's been here for the whole year because you've got all this writing going on. David took all of his illustrations and kind of sketched them out first, then outlined each one, then added color to each one. And so I wrote, he's the professor of popping illustrations. See his book on also somewhere in here. You'll notice that pop off the page. Congratulations. All right, Mr. Bell, come on up. And he not only included that he saw crabs, but then at the end he had a little detail as well. So he had details in his picture and details in his words that crabs call sideways. I don't know if you all know that, but that's from our fact man over there. So he's another one of our detailed dudes. Mary Beth Moody. Mary has written long essays about many different things, but this time she decided to do one on sequencing the story. We've been working a lot on beginning, middle, and end, both in our speaking and in our writing. Siri is our super sequencer. Ariel, where are you? Ariel took the time to put a whole story together about mermaids, but then her illustrations have the mermaids with the tail sideways, with the big fin. She even has the scales on the mermaids, so she's one of our detailed divas. Ever get a chance to take a peek at Rohan's story? He has a line in the story about a dragon. Can you tell me?
Is that a dragon or T-Rex that can fire?
A T-Rex that can fire. I can confuse because fire and dragons and dinosaurs, they kind of go together. Can you stand this way so people can see you? Do you remember what you said about the dragon's teeth? They're as sharp as a... Remember?
I the dragon's claws are sharper than swords.
as sharp as a sword. So, I mean, using the details, using his words, and he also has this whole story that's quite involved, and it goes on and on about this dragon, and he goes into this fairy land and this fairy thing. So I'm writing to give him an award for the incredible imagination.
Hey.
Charlie Swan. Charlie's story was about a game, and I don't play video games, so I had to have lots of details and explanations about all the different levels and how you earn points and how you earn dinosaurs. I thought you were writing about dinosaurs prehistoric times, but it was a game that you earned all these things. So we needed to put lots of details, so you're looking at another detail dude. And asking children for details is like asking children to, perform a root canal. Because for that beginning, they're just writing, and then now I'm saying, okay, I need more details, and they go back and they're like, oh. So now that they're actually adding details, it's huge. Natalie Lowe is not here. Hannah Lowe is not here. She's traveling. So ready to see in? Ray's story is about all the things he passes as he sits in his car. First of all, you have to understand that Ray loves cars. I think you could name any car, make, or model of cars and trucks. But he took that interest, but then put it into a story about how when traveling in the car, all the things he does. It's called Things I See When I Go in My Car, something like that. And he wrote down all the things. But then he added things like, I saw a house. I said, what else did he see? So he added a pool. And he had a fence. So the Ray, his article is called A Traveling Treasure. Did everyone that wanted to come up get a turn to come up?
Yeah.
All right. Parents, I thank you for coming. I know you're all have places to go. If you want to take a few minutes to look again around at other people's books and pictures, you're welcome to do that. Boys and girls, your pencils and your notebooks are going to go in your backpack.